Hello, and welcome to a new Hollow Knight mini-series that I'll be doing. How I beat Pantheon 5 with various bindings. Up first is the nail binding. I'll be sort of going through each of the bindings, showing my charm setup, or lack thereof, for the charm binds, and just share what I think and what about the bosses is hard or not so hard. So yeah, let's get into it. 3, 2, 1, go. And we are popping right into Vengefly Kings, plural, because there's 2 of these guys. Now, very basics, what are we doing for charms? This is a bit after I've done it, so I don't quite remember exactly, but because this is nail binding, we did Shaman Stone, Soul Twister, probably Long Nail, maybe Quick Slash, or some combination of those, because we're going to be needing a lot of soul. We're going to need to be casting a lot of spells to do any sort of reliable damage, and I probably should have been saving up more soul for this fight, but it's Vengefly King, so I just wanted to get it over with. Bruisemother's up next with the Funky Arena. I like this fight. It's sort of as he gets glitched out in the corner. It's a very good test of fundamentals. It's not complex in any way whatsoever, but it tests your knowledge of positioning, having nail knockback, evading simple patterns, and yeah, he goes easy. Now, yes, we do have Quick Slash, because look at those slashes go. False Knight will go over easy, but what we're going to do is we're going to hit him to reset the timer for him getting up, and while we have him there, we're just going to hit him as much as we can, because we can just stun lock him. I think there's a way to infinitely stun lock him if you hit the shell and not the False Knight himself, but we're not optimizing this guy. He's simple, and after a fight you get 16 years to dream nail him. I will say this is my second clear of nail bindings. The first one I did on my first try, believe it or not. I don't believe it, and I was just practicing, because a blink and you miss the Moss Charger fight. He does get a hit on me because I'm trying to weave spells in, but it's the easiest fight in the game. Yeah, this is my second clear, because I beat it on my first try and I didn't expect to, and I wasn't recording. Now, Hornet. We love a Hornet fight. Every time you knock her, she will jump, so that's a fun way to try and optimize the fight. So hit, and then jump, and sometimes she'll be kind and let you hit her. She gets knocked back a fair bit by the spell, especially since it's shade and it's empowered by Shaman Stone. We'll go through the dialogue this one time. Mischief beyond mischief, wielder of nail, eater of soul. I won't stay too much on it, but for the first video in this series, I'll be doing that. The dream fights are fairly simple with nail binding, because they're easily burstable with spells. Gorb, if you hit him just right, then you can get a double hit with Shade Soul. But other than that, you know, his pattern is fairly easy. If you dodge if you're not in the path of the first one, you won't be in the path of the third one, because they follow the same exact line, which is like the only piece of advice there really is for Gorb. Don't Abyss Shriek him, because he's a lot harder to dodge when he's above you, or he's a lot harder to hit. He might be easier to dodge, because you might get trapped by some rubbish like pattern if he's too close or horizontal. Dung Defender up next. The fun thing about Dung Defender on a spell build is that Descending Dark knocks him out of the ground when he's tunneling. He's not doing the right tunneling move, unfortunately, so here's one. Yep, just knocks him out of the ground. And this fight is super simple. He's already in second phase and he'll go down. Again, these early fights I'm not worrying too much about health, but I try to keep topped up. See, I don't really heal to full, because it's a lot of things that newer players struggle with is the idea of using spells. You will take less damage if you end the fight quicker. They try and turn a lot of fights into marathons when they can just be sprints. Soul Warrior is a lot of fun. He's like a single Mantis Lord with ads, so it's really easy to blitz him down, like you saw there. Here we fight Tiso. He's the strongest boss in the game. Got killed by another boss. It's not fair. Morlek is another one. I don't like Brooding Morlek. I don't like his swing. Like, I feel like it's just a bit annoying to deal with. And that was very lucky. I just believed in the heart of the cards there. But we do get like some good DPS times when he does the like massive spit. You just go to the other side and just grind on him. But it's an annoying fight. Oron Mato. This one I love to do with like nail arts because it's thematic, but there are some good strats with Descending Dark in the second phase especially, and it's easy to get a lot of soul by wailing on him because he leaves his back exposed like very often. Here you can get one dream now, and this strategy isn't 100% safe. I just go for it because it's fun and it's like good damage to get double, like full Descending Dark. I think before Descending Dark used to be better, such that you got more invincibility frames. There I go under him a bit too late. That's my favorite thing to Descending Dark. I think I messed it up that time. And then I dashed into the guy. I'm still not too phased. This boss I don't find too hard. I just like speeding it up. There I think I panicked just because of the pattern was just a bit unexpected. We got one of them down. I think that was Aurora, because the other one does a spin slash, so it has to be Mato. And all that's left is dealing, yeah, one left. That Abyss Shriek is really good against Sly, so I thought it will probably work there. I'm not bothering to heal because we get a checkpoint. And up we go to full. We have our our lifeblood, which gives us 5 pristine temporary health, and we go on to 0. Now the trick with Zero, he's not a hard boss really. The trick with him though is to look at, I have no idea what my Abyss Shriek was, I'm so sorry you had to see that. I'm so upset I had to see it again. The trick with Zero is to look at where his nails fire from, because that's where the position that it'll return to. So if he shoots a nail from the left side, it will return to the left side, which will have a different trajectory coming back than if it was fired from the right side, for example. So that's the main thing. I think I took contact damage while descending Darking, but because I hit his arm. Crystal Guardian is a joke. I'm just like, I actually don't care about this guy. I don't even mind losing all my temporary health. There's another tip for Zero. I'll probably share the next one. Yeah, here's Soul Master. I love Soul Tyrant, and I play Soul Tyrant like fairly frequently. And it sort of hinders me in Soul Master because I'm so used to him being so much faster that I'm just like, I get hit by some silly stuff. Like, for some reason I can't deal with his spinny attack, his spinning orbs. Even though, you know, it's not anything too hard to get from your practice. Here I'm doing, I'm trying to hit him twice, so like once on the jump up and on the way back down. The thing with the orbs as well is that they're so easy to dodge. People always take these like really big, like winding movements to dodge them perfect, like not even, like they over dodge, and all that does is mean that the orbs come back. You need like one slight movement, like down, and guide it into a wall, and then they just die. But now we have Oblobbles. I'd say this is probably the easiest version of Oblobbles we'll see, because Spell Cheese is really good against them, because they're hell in an extended fight. Mantis Lords. You know, if I wasn't doing a challenge, I would just play these guys with Nail Binding without using spells, because, you know, that's a longer Mantis Lords fight. That's the dream. Like, I honestly think this is, I mean, tell me what yours is, but this to me is the best boss fight in gaming currently. I cannot think of a boss fight which more perfectly encapsulates like the energy and the rhythm that this boss fight does. But all three lords will stand up, and let's go Sisters of Battle. Early on, it's about finding the windows to cast spells. I can't really find too many at the moment. Or am I? Yeah, there we go. I think I was originally thinking of doing it like spellless, but it's like that might be a bit long. That was a bit fancy. I think I try it again later and it doesn't pan out. If anything, I should be going for more like the darks, because that's just iframes and free damage, because they're always on top of you. And they clip my horns there. It's unfortunate. Even with the nail binding bow, quick slash melts everything. Even though like it's less damage, it's still like shredding. I missed that Abyss Shriek, it's unfortunate. And we're down to 1, and soon 0. I think we get a break after this as well. Bow to the lords. Where I fit, I sit. Mamu, again, Dream Fight. Very optimal to be cheesed by spells, even if you miss all of them. I hate Mamu with a passion. He killed my first Steel Soul run. He's the only boss to kill a Steel Soul run other than Radiance in that series that I did. Fluke Mom up next. It's Fluke Mom, isn't it? Just get a bit of soul from hitting the flukes and just kill it. Abyss Shriek is the most damage if you can hit all of the hits reliably. You usually can't because it hits things around. Okay, now the Vessel fights. I hate this fight, but I love bullying the Vessel. Sometimes you just get into a rhythm where you're like knocking them every like 3 seconds. I don't know if I get that here, but I think he's already dead actually. I mean, no? Maybe a bit more. Yeah. Usually when he does that attack that he was just doing, it means he's almost dead. At least, I don't know. Maybe that's a second phase thing at half health, but he's usually dead, like Blitz by then. Galeon, I love Galeon. He's the first boss that I did Radiant. Just because I really enjoyed this like little mini game of like just walking along the ground and up slashing and waiting for him to dodging all of his various scythes. Yeah, the trick with Galeon is be careful with the big scythe. Learn how it moves. It's very momentum based, so it's not going to turn on a dime. And Shio now. Shio is easier than Oromato. A lot easier. The thing with him is you have to be observant and patient. Look at his brush color. That will tell you everything that is going to happen in the fight. And don't be impatient, because his attacks are large, but they are very slow. Just wait for the tell of what they're going to be and react accordingly. It's a really simple fight. And there he goes. Bummer. Finner. And you don't even need a rest after that fight, really. We did that segment with 2 temporary shells, so we get up to 7 now. So nice. Hive Knight. Hive Knight is a weird one. I always have like trouble with him. Not like that I die, but I take stupid damage. Because I always try and like pogo his dash when I shouldn't. I should just dash through it with Shade Cloak. The interesting thing with Hive Knight is his honey attack. So yeah, this one. The bottom one, they'll explode in order of like how low they are. So the lowest one, then the middle one, then the top one. By that logic, you can pop them early and think about what to do. Elder Who is annoying. That's it, really. Because of this attack, only this attack. Because he just phases out of existence. But he is easy. If you have Shade Cloak, which you should if you're doing Pantheons, you can literally, if you time it properly, shade dash through anything he does. Like not just this attack. And while he's doing that attack, you can charge up a nail and get a dash slash. Dash slash is really underrated because it doesn't have much exploration usage, but it does really good in boss fights because it has insane range. Now, nail restriction on Collector. This was possibly one of the hardest ones. Because you can't one-shot the ads, and I play this fight at rhythm, at like speed. I play this fight where the ads are dead. The ads are dead as they spawn, and you can't do that in this because you can't one-shot them with a nail. Can with spell, but that's diminishing returns because you only get so many spells. But you've got to be very selective of where you use your spells. And like clear out the ads. See, I'm using it a bit liberally because I know he's about to die because I've been hitting him, but it's very easy to get overwhelmed in that fight, especially since Lord Satan, the Primal Aspids are there. God Tamer, it's the same fight really. Wait for God Tamer to do something stupid, like roll, since 90% of the time he rolls. That's just the worst move. Acid Spit is by far the most dangerous thing in this fight. You can pretty much ignore the God Tamer, like 90% of the time. It's only this Acid Spit, since it covers such like room in the fight. So wait for him to roll, get some soul. He likes to walk at you sometimes. Be careful for that. We love contact damage. I lied, we don't. And if you kill the god first, the God Tamer will die. And the most important trick is that you can hide inside of the shell. And we're up to Grim, where you can Dream Nail him twice before the fight starts, which is very useful for a spell build. Grim is one of those fights where it's hard on the first. This is the same for Nightmare King, but Grim is only hard until you understand it. Like when I was doing the Radiant Bosses series, obviously like Radiant Bosses are a bit like obviously a bit harder, but more than that, like you can know a fight completely and like it will still take you a few tries to get a boss Radiant, just because you're not concentrating or whatever, and you have to play perfect. Nightmare King Grim took me like 8 tries tops to get Radiant. I think it was even less than that actually, but he has a very set amount of attacks which always come at you exactly the same way. There's no overlap between them, so you'll know every single time how you have to react to every single one. There's no variance in it. So this fight is easy. And you can even throw in some spells if you're feeling confident, even though I get hit, it's fine. A couple times. Just to speed up the fight, really. It's you go then I go sort of fight. You take turns, and if you want to, you know, not cheese it, but just make it go a bit quicker, you can trade a bit. You can't hit him with nail slashes while he's doing the pineapple. No, what was it? The pomegranate. But he can be hit by spells. Watcher Knights. Okay. Watcher Knights. They are tough, but I honestly don't see how anybody who has Shade Cloak can ever find these hard. You dodge one, and you dash through the other, at worst. Just whenever they do anything, jump. Because the fastest attack they have is going to be the roll, like the straight roll. And then you can even throw in some double Shade Souls. That's like a speedrun attack. I think this is like my first time trying this as well. So it's not too hard, and with a bit of practice, they fall over. they have the back roll now, which is fun. And like spell Watcher Knights. Spells delete these guys because there's 6 of them, right? And yeah, you'll get like occasional like bad RNG on their moves where they overlap in just a way to get you hit, but that's a very minority. Odds on if you're controlling the space and you don't corner yourself. Get into the habit of walking under their bounces instead of walking away, because they can't redirect their jump after they've jumped. Their initial jump will be towards you, like towards your location. So if you're far away, they'll do a long jump. If they're close, you'll do a close jump. But once they've bounced once, they're not bouncing, well, they're not changing their trajectory. Okay, Umu. The thing with Umu is you got to be patient. You got to find opportunities to dream now. You've got to sort of lure him to the middle of the stage a bit, because he will float towards you, but you know, you got to put him in a place where I got stuck on the bottom of the platform. You got to get him in a place where you can DPS him even after you hit the jellyfish. And when I first tried to do this fight, I always hit the jellyfish away and waited for them to boomerang back, and I thought that's how you're supposed to do it. No, do not harm yourself. Just hit them directly at Umu and it should be fine. And if it's not in a good position, do not do it. Taking 2 damage is not worth it. Okay, now we have Vengefly King 2 Electric Hitbox Salu, Nosk, Winged Nosk. You just have to get get familiar with its hitbox, like when it charges you. You always get like a double hit if you spell after you pogo, and improve reaction times for that. I imagine if you jump and like Shade Cloak, you'll be invincible for that in long enough for the acid to drop, but that might be a bit tough for timing. Okay. Sly is the first boss I really had to practice, but now I'm very confident with him. I say as I take 2 damages today. That's a nasty, like, great slash. You just have to be like very comfortable with the spacing. Here I'm going for all these like really niche punishes, and there I was trying to get the Abyss Shrieks, because you can keep him airborne with your Abyss Shriek and, you know, just completely flood him with damage. But yeah, knowing which attacks you can punish and at what times. So like after he slams, then after he slams, he'll always have 1 hit after that hit. After he does his like buzzsaw, after his trigger combo, that's another time. See? And it's simple from there. But, you know, with spells and the spell build, it's even easier, because you can hit him at range. Second phase isn't too hard, it's just timing. Always face away from him, so whenever he dashes at you, you can just press the dash button, you're away. And then just hit him back. Sometimes he'll surprise you with like a quick turnaround, and like usually he bounces a few times, and you know, but it's not too bad, and he doesn't have too much health in this phase. I should be using more spells here because I have enough soul, and you know that just goes to show he doesn't have much health. Bama. Show respect to your nail master. 1-2. Hornet 2 is just Hornet 1 but faster. I was about to say, Hornet 2 is just Hornet 1 but 2. And yeah, she's just faster. You have to just react faster, move faster. The differences in this fight is that Hornet has these traps, and I like to get rid of these as soon as possible. The Shade Soul will get rid of them as well, so I like to jump and Shade Soul such that it will hit Hornet, but it will also hit the traps. Since Shade Soul is so massive. But yeah, on to the next. Enraged Guardian next. Stash behind him. Honestly, you'll be safe. The only thing that's remotely challenging is the lasers from the sky. Yeah, as long as you're like conscious that they'll be like in the path of you when you dash, you'll be fine. And in that case, you just jump. Okay, lost kin. Time to bully him. Because he gets really like hindered by knockback. So, you know, if he's like medium range, so like half a screen away from you, he'll usually get double hit by all the spells all the time. And he gets knocked, like he gets stunned very easily. And the rest is ads. If you're having problems with his fight as well, especially the ads, you can put on Defender's Crest, and those ghosts have 1 HP, and they will literally die before they will ever hit you ever. So, okay, no eyes. No eyes. There's no tips for no eyes, especially in this configuration. You just have to get good. It's about understanding like the hitboxes, the trajectories, not biting off more than you can chew. Like Guru's Mother, it's about figuring out its fundamentals, and nail knockback is important, so you don't like knock yourself back into any spikes. Traitor Lord. He looks intimidating, but if you stay cool, he's not too bad. Especially like he's the tutorial for like shade dashing in boss fights. It's like if he does the groundward dash, then you dash through him. If he does the aerial dash, you walk forward. And generally, you will have your shade dash up. I know I didn't have it that time, but you know, generally you'll have it up by the time. If he does 2 ground dashes in a row, you will have it back up if you time it right. Wide Defender. Wide Defender is a fight. Great character. I love the character. The fight is a bit annoying. I'd say not annoying, like not annoying the first time, or like the second time, but like doing it multiple times in a Pantheon, it gets annoying. Because it's very slow. He doesn't attack you. He doesn't attack you. He attacks the arena, and if you're there, then you get hit. You know. So that's why my biggest tip in this fight is, if you're like struggling, literally go to the corner and heal, and odds on you won't even get hit. And if you get hit maybe once and you get 3 heals off, then you know you're golden. The other tip is, as you can see, when he goes up, you can Abyss Shriek him. I didn't do it properly there, but you know, that's good damage. And what else? You can't knock him out of the ground like you can down Defender. once you get good at this fight, you can hit him on his way up as well as on his way down from when he dives up and down. Yeah. On to the next one after a rest. Grab our health. On we go. Oh, tragedy. White lady doesn't want to play your games. So Tyrant, my boy, I love this fight. This is like top 5 fight probably for me. I have to rank over Hollow Knight bosses. This guy, just because of the sheer amount of like stuff you can do to optimize this fight, it's just really fun to try it, or it's not like too unforgiving. Although I wouldn't be like opposed to a slightly even harder version than this. What are the tips? Be aggressive, dash at him. You got this Soul Master was the tutorial in use your dash aggressively. So was like the Soul Sanctum, because it's not used aggressively generally by newer players. The other tip for Soul Master and Soul Tyrant is when you hit him, when you knock him, like stun him, and you hit him, he will pop out of it immediately. But there is a window right after you've knocked him where he doesn't. You can hit him as much as you want. It's a short window, but it's enough for like an Abyss Shriek. And if you can get him like stuck in an Abyss Shriek and then like hit him after that, that's massive damage. Yeah, the name of this fight is aggression, because there's so many opportunities for you to be more aggressive, and it rewards you so much for it. Like, even these bits, you know, like the consecutive dashes, you can get easy hits here. You can even get double hits, but I don't try to do that really. And look how like effortless the orb dodging is here. I got lucky with that last one because I killed him right as it was about to hit me, but you get the idea. Like, you don't... Their turning radius is bad enough such that you can dodge them easy. Now onto the worst boss fight. Yeah, the worst boss fight. I hate this guy so much. But from my like hundreds of attempts to Radiant this guy, I probably could have done it with less, but I got very frustrated and impatient. The main takeaways are: push him away with Shade Soul. When he's doing this like rotating shield deal, just push him away. You don't need to deal with him. And if you don't have any soul, just get away from him as far as possible, and do a dash slash, because that has great range and it can probably like hit like past the shields. The second phase sucks ass, so blitz him down with spells as much as you can, and you know, pray that Great Prince Zote doesn't kill you in the next phase with 4 HP, but you know, that depends on you. Great Prince Zote is another very annoying fight, because he runs faster than you. He's unpredictable as hell, and his ads don't die in one hit. And he has very jarring movements, which like shift his they shift his hitbox. So you see, I get down to 1 HP here, but I knock him with a D-Dark. The key to this fight is D-Dark. Just spam it. If ever you feel like unsure of what's going on, D-Dark, you get invincibility. If he does a big dash or a big jump, D-Dark. See, I didn't do a D-Dark and I got hit there. And heal when you can. Of course, we are on nail binding, so the ads are going to die in one nail swing. I don't remember if they do on regular, but probably right. That's unfortunate. If he did the setup for the nail flailing attack, but like fell. If he did the nail flailing attack, a dash would have been like correct there, but he decided not to. And the nail flailing attack is pogo once, double jump, pogo twice, double jump, and then he'll fall over, so then you can just deduct. You can pop the explosive with the Shade Soul if you have no space, and D-Dog being a bro and closing up the fight for us there. Failed Champion. Failed Champion is a tough fight. He really requires you to play differently, and he was annoying to do Radiant because I kept getting hit by random rocks and I was getting again annoyed with it. The thing with him is that he's so big that dashing through him doesn't always work. So what you do is you completely ignore him when he's doing his shockwaves, dodge that, dodge that, dodge that, and then dash forward when he jumps at you. And that's the only time you're allowed to hit him. Don't bother at any other point. So I'm going to farm him for soul real quick. There I tried to hit the shell, but I think I hit him, and honestly I don't know the ins and outs of that tech, so I'm just gonna go into the corner and heal. Hit rocks back at him whenever you can, because that's just free damage. And then the rest you can just like spam him down with spells. This one has been like a lot of like general help with bosses as well, because it's the first one. Maybe I'll get like more specific advice, or maybe it'll be just like rehash the same advice every fight for the next videos. I hope it's not that, but there are some things I wanted to say but I didn't, so I'm not sure. By the time I record the next one, I'm not sure if I would have done that. Who knows? But, you know, failed champion, it's not too hard to, like, stun lock him. See, I didn't have dash there, because I dashed forward into him on a shockwave, because I was trapped by a falling rock. So I just had to pray that I got the right move out, and I didn't. But that is the fight, and I will rinse him. No need to keep him alive for that, though, because, like, again, you get so long after this fight to just farm up soul. And now, Nightmare King Grim. He's not too hard, honestly. He's just fast. So, the thing about this fight is that it's very easy to run away from you, like the fight. You get hit once, then you're panicking a bit, then you're thinking, oh god, you know, I need to do something better. Then you get hit again, and it's like, oh shit, panic. That is very easy to fall into in this fight, like more than other fights, especially since he hits for 2. But he's not too hard. I say obviously the main difference is the bat pattern and this like fire pillar attack. That fire pillar attack is your best friend. It is the best attack you can do because you get such a great punish off. This boss fight's health is not designed to take a full abyss shriek regularly, and the fact that you can during that fire pillar just burns him down like super quick. And the bat phase is greatly reduced, like the knocked stunned one, so you can only get one hit off if you're lucky. It's mucho fast. with fire bats. They have a different pattern. Jump over the first one, then dash. Then you're in his face. I hate that one. That's the one attack I can't stand. This, yeah, you're gonna see me get hit a lot by it. Now this is scary at this point because I'm on 3 HP. That's 2 hits in this fight. And that can go in the blink of an eye. And I don't even get enough health back on the heal to get another full hit. The falling fire on that dash upwards is also a bit tough to deal with. I don't have a really concrete way of dealing with it. And look, it's just the Abyss Shriek, it shreds him. And now, very thankfully, we get a rest before our penultimate fight. Before we talk with the mans once more. Even long departed. And that fight, of course, is the Pure Vessel. When I first found this fight, I despised it. I thought it was unfair. I thought it was too fast. I thought like, oh, I can't even see him. Like I can't even see like where he's attacking from half the time. He's off the screen, and I don't have reaction times for this. Now I know the trick, and it's pretty much keep airborne as much as you can. Be in the air. Don't double jump, but like if you're not jumping, or like if you're not like if you don't have your single jump, then you're gonna get hit a lot. So if you're on the ground, jump once, and that will see you through most of it. That helps you react to his like most dangerous attacks, which are his dash and his 3-hit combo. The 3-hit combo is like a dangerously large hitbox. Like, it has dead angles, yeah, precisely. It hits behind him, it hits in front of him. And I go down to 1 health here, which is a bit scary. I played this very sloppily. Thankfully it gives us this attack, which lets us heal 1, but we still don't get a hit. But we get a knock and we get some health back. So we can take a hit now. This is simple, just dash into him, pogo. Dash into him, pogo. Apparently his head doesn't have a hitbox in that attack, which I found during my Pure Vessel Radiant. Check that out. It was a really weird interaction. I was really happy though. Understandably, of course. The counter is annoying. If you hit the counter, just shade dash through him. Do not dash away. You always get hit. But yeah, that's pretty much the fight. See, dash through against your muscle memory, and that's Pure Vessel. We look to the sky to face the Absolute Radiance now. Now, I have mixed opinions on Absolute Radiance. I know I really shouldn't judge a fight based on a personal challenge that I took on myself. Like, I think the Radiant playthrough of this fight made me dislike it, because it's a bit bullshit. There are some times where it's impossible to not take damage. Not these ones, these are me being bad. However, there are lots of like things that I find annoying with it, like that for example. I de-docked onto those spikes, and while I de-docked onto them, the spikes spawned and hit me. That was very close. I almost like completely lost a run there, but it's fine. We're fine. But I wouldn't have appreciated this fight as much as I did playing it regularly if I didn't do the Radiant Challenge, if that makes sense. So now my runs, even though I hated the boss while doing Radiant stuff, it made my regular runs more fun. Here I'm very happy to just hit him with my nail because it does no damage, but it gives me soul. I hate the visual communication of this fight though. Like, everything's yellow on yellow on yellow on yellow, and everything is blinding. Maybe that's by design, but I hate the orbs especially because half the time you can't even fucking see them. But yeah, on to second phase. I have the timing on when those platforms spawn because I've done this fight so many times. My strategy for this is go to top platform and shade soul as soon as possible. If you hit the boss like in the sweet spot, I guess, with the shade soul, it will double hit because the boss is so large. See there, it just spawned in me, and it's just that. D-Dog is your friend with these orbs, let me tell you. Especially if you can get them in it. Get her in it? I think Radiance is a girl. Don't crucify me. Climb phase, it's just about just taking a bit of patience. Wait for the laser to come out, then move. Don't just like jump because you can. As you go up, it gets more accurate, and you have to worry less about it. The main thing that kills or like gets me hit is not like the Radiance being accurate. It's the Radiance being random about her attacks. It's the randomness in this fight which gets you. So this is a tried and true, you know, tactic of the last phase of Radiance. If these orbs go off screen, they despawn. So what you do, you stay above the boss and you just, you know, let them despawn. It's a bit finicky, but once you get it going, it just completely ruins that final fight.